Hey sis, long time no see. I needed to talk to you about something. You open right now?
It's been so long, Jenna. Why haven't you been answering my texts?
Sorry, I've been pretty preoccupied for the past 3 years.
What on earth have you been doing for so long? You can't imagine how worried I've been all this time.
Yeah, I know.
You could have at least contacted me in some way or another, you know? I called you 1,000,000 times. I texted you through every single platform I could think of. I was literally dying to reach you, and you know it.
Oh, sorry. I had your number and contacts on every single platform blocked until right now, so I didn't notice any of your calls. Oops.
I knew it. And now you randomly decide to reach out to me, huh? So, I guess you're desperately in need of something right now. What is it? Money?
Of course not. You're hilarious. I wanted to ask you something about your marriage. Your wedding is in 2 weeks, isn't it?
Yes? How do you know?
I heard from one of our mutual friends. After all, we were raised in the same town, weren't we? I still cannot believe that you were able to get a ring around your finger before me.
It doesn't matter which one of us gets married first.
Of course it does. There's no way on earth that a fat-faced ugly girl like you was able to get married before my beautiful self. This should be illegal or something.
Oh, shut up. Are you drunk or something?
Whoa, very impressive. How'd you notice?
How could I not notice? You really say anything when you're drunk, honey. Like that one time you lied to my friend and made her believe that her boyfriend was cheating on her with me. You really almost got her to try and murder me.
Oh yeah, that was so much fun. Speaking of boyfriends, I searched up your boyfriend's name on the internet out of curiosity. I even know his parents' house now. He lives in a huge house. He must be rich, huh? Even the interior of the house was super luxurious.
Please stop stalking my fiancé, you creep. You even searched up inside of his house?
Nope, I actually stepped inside myself to take a look.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, to tell you the truth, I'm actually pregnant with his baby right now.
What? You should really go easier on the alcohol. Text me again when you're sober.
Actually, I'm not joking. Let me reword it so you can understand me better. I'm pregnant with the baby of the man that is your fiancé. You know, the one you're bound to have a wedding with?
What do you mean you're serious? You're lying.
I'll tell you one last time, so listen carefully. I'm pregnant with your husband's baby.
What do you mean?
What do you mean, what do you mean? It sounds pretty straightforward if you ask me. He's mine now, so make sure to sign the divorce certificate, Kay? I left it in the mailbox at our old house, so turn it as soon as you're done. You won't be able to have a wedding in a situation like this anyways. Might as well be quick with it, so I can have my moment quicker, right?
Whoa. I am not divorcing my husband.
Well, you're not pregnant, aren't you? I got pregnant before you, therefore your husband, the father, is now mine. It makes perfect sense, doesn't it? Just get over with it. I don't have the time for your whining.
He isn't the type of person to do such a thing in the first place. He's a gentle soul who would never hurt me like that.
I get that you want to believe in your beloved husband, but this is the reality, so I need you to suck it up and move on, okay?
Even if this were true, why would you do something like this?
What do you mean?
Before you disappeared for 3 years, you took all of my savings, every single cent of the $30,000 that I had spent years saving up, and you just ran away, didn't you? And even before that, you tried to sabotage my relationship with the guy I was dating back then, just so you could have him. You even lied to my best friend over and over to try to make her hate me as a person. What are you trying to accomplish by making my life more miserable? What's wrong with you?
Isn't it obvious? It's because you're my annoying older sister, so naturally, I just want the worst for you, no matter what it is. I'm happy as long as you're unhappy, sis.
What the hell?
It's always been like this. Because even though I'm obviously the cuter one out of the two, you always have a boyfriend or friend around you. You always have someone to take care of you. You always have more money than me, and the way everyone likes you is so annoying.
That's your reason? Seriously?
It might sound stupid to you, but I'm being dead serious right now. I'm cuter, so I should be treated better.
If you want people to like you, then why don't you just establish relationships that people feel are worth caring about? And the only reason I have more money than you is because I work more than you. You do know that you have to work in order to earn money, right?
This conversation reminds me of how I also hate the way you're so bossy towards me. You're always trying to sound wise, but I know who you are deep down. You're just no one who's trying to get everyone's attention.
Jenna!
Don't Jenna me. You don't mean anything to me. What matters is that your fiancé is in love with me and I'm pregnant with his baby. So therefore, he's mine. And that is final. I'm already 3 months pregnant, by the way. Get the divorce done quickly, please. Bye-bye.
Daniel, can I have a moment to talk to you? I know you're busy at work right now, but there's something really important that I need to address with you.
Hey, honey. Of course, what could that be? Wait, let me guess. This is about our wedding, right?
Well, partially, I guess. It's about something more important than that.
More important than our wedding? May I ask if everything's alright?
Well, everything would be alright as long as you haven't seen my sister in a while.
Your sister? Oh, the one who cut you off on all contact 3 years ago. I thought she did horrible things to you and just poofed out of nowhere.
Yeah, that one. Have you been meeting her recently by any chance?
I don't even really know how she looks. We met after that incident happened between you and your sister, so I never got to know her well in the first place. I mean, the only time I'd seen her before is that one time you showed me a picture of her, so I don't think I'd recognize her even if she saw me in the city or something. Sorry. Did I accidentally ignore her when she passed by or something?
No, nothing like that. I guess you really don't know her then.
Can I ask why you were wondering that? Were you able to finally reach her? We should definitely bring her to the wedding if you were.
I was actually able to reach her, but something happened and I got worried, so I contacted you.
Oh, that's great! Has something happened?
Well, Jenna has been telling me that she's pregnant with your baby.
Me? My baby?
Apparently she's 3 months pregnant now.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Can we slow down for a second? That's literally impossible. I work from home on most days during the week, and even when I do go out for work, I have you drive me over to the company. We spend the weekends together over at our house, too. You and I both know that it's physically impossible for me to do something like that. I would never even want to cheat on you.
Please calm down. I'm not doubting you or anything. I just wanted to consult you about it.
Really?
Yeah, I'm sorry. It sounded like I was trying to get something out of you or something. That wasn't my intention at all. My sister just contacted me and started saying these things out of nowhere. So I wanted to tell you about it and ask you what you think I should do about it.
No, I'm sorry for panicking too. I just got scared that something would harm our relationship or something. But why would your sister just say something like that?
It's possible that the story about the pregnancy itself is just a total lie.
Why would she lie about something like that?
I'm pretty sure she was drunk when she sent the text to me.
Oh, that's true. A pregnant lady wouldn't be drinking in the first place.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to sound cocky or anything, but she sounded like she was saying all of that just to feel like she was better than me or something for once. And considering her personality, I'm pretty sure that she even would take good care of her own baby. So she probably wouldn't sabotage the safety of the baby by drinking like that.
So you're saying that considering her personality, she wouldn't have been drunk if she were really pregnant.
I mean, I'm just guessing, but that's what I think is what happened.
That makes sense. So I guess the next thing we should be worrying about is the wedding, right? We should be on alert about what type of crazy things she might do next. Should we contact the wedding hall and make sure that they don't let her into our wedding?
Yeah, I think that might be a good idea. I'll contact them and let them know about the situation.
Hey sis, I would want to say happy wedding to you, but I guess the wedding isn't happening today since your husband got another girl pregnant. What a shame. It happened so suddenly, didn't it? How does it feel to have your own fiancé choose your sister over you? I'm so sorry I was born so beautiful. If I wasn't so gorgeous, you might have had a happy marriage.
Who would have guessed? It's you spamming my phone again. I'm kind of busy right now, so contact me later. I'm gonna turn my notifications off, so bye-bye.
What do you mean busy? Your wedding was cancelled, so you must be bored to death. All thanks to me.
Oh no, there must have been a misunderstanding here. Of course we're doing the wedding today, silly.
What do you mean? Oh, so you still believe that your husband might actually show up? Well, I'm sorry to tell you, but all of that time getting ready is about to go to waste. Boo-hoo! That's just hilarious.
Whatever, the wedding is about to start, so I'll see you later, I guess.
You're really gonna do the wedding without the groom? Dang, sis, that's very bold of you, I guess. Call me if you're gonna do an after party. I'll be sure to bring the wine so you can drink your tears away.
Bye.
Bye-bye. We're about to go turn in our marriage certificate together, by the way. Make sure to let everyone at the wedding hall know. I'm pretty sure his friends would love to come to his actual wedding with me anyways. I feel so bad for you. But I feel so happy for myself at the same time. Sucks to be you. What's up, sis? How was your solo wedding? I hope the music and food was good, I guess. Me and your ex-husband ended up having dinner at a restaurant at the top floor of a hotel. The view was absolutely amazing, by the way. And the food was great too. I'm so fortunate to have him in my life. I was imagining how miserable your wedding was while eating, and I felt horrible.
Why is it always you that's spamming my phone? Can you please leave me alone? What do you want?
I just wanted to let you know that the marriage certificate is turned in, and it's official. Your supposed-to-be husband is now mine.
Congratulations, honey. I hope you're finally happy with yourself.
Are you kidding me? You're trying not to act embarrassed, huh? You need to do something with that ego, sis. Don't act as if you're fine when you're not.
Do you really still believe that my husband is now yours? That there's nothing off about this whole thing?
What do you mean? Of course your husband is mine. He's right next to me.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but I'm actually not divorced with my husband.
Huh? What's that supposed to mean?
The wedding went perfectly as planned, and we became a newlywed couple just a few hours ago. As you could probably tell by now, yes, my husband was right beside me the whole time. In fact, he's right next to me at the moment.
What? You must be on something. He's right next to me.
Nope. The man next to you is not my husband.
Wait, but if he's not your husband, then who's this man sitting next to me?
So you really did turn in a wedding certificate. I thought you were just lying about that.
Of course I turned in a wedding certificate. Aren't you the one who's lying right now? I know for a fact that I took your husband away from you and married him. Bob signed the paper and the city hall said that there was no problem with it.
Bob?
Yes, Bob.
Oh, I get it now.
What do you get?
Jenna, my husband's name is Joe, not Bob.
What? Who the hell's Joe? I don't know who you're trying to fool right now, but you need to stop lying. What are you trying to accomplish right now? Whoa!
This is a picture from today's wedding of Joe and I. Do you like it?
Bob? But he was with me the whole day. I don't get it.
The man in the picture is Joe. His name is Joe, not Bob. And he's my husband.
No, but that's Bob. He has the exact same face as the man right next to me.
I mean, it makes sense that the two have identical faces, I guess. Bob is Joe's identical twin.
Identical twins? What kind of comic book storyline is this?
Bob was supposed to come to today's wedding as his older brother's best man, but he canceled on him out of nowhere because apparently his girlfriend announced that she was pregnant and he needed to go get engaged to her. I guess that was you he was talking about.
Oh no.
It all makes sense now. I mean, that sounds like something Bob would do. He's a free spirit, to put it nicely. He has trouble setting his priorities, so he always cancels on events if there's something that personally benefits him. But I've heard stories of that habit of his working against him and those around him. Badly. Like that one time he canceled on a really important meeting because he felt burnt out and caused his company to lose a multi-million-dollar deal. Or that time he cheated on his girlfriend with several women and got sued for it. Joe saying that he's tens of thousands of dollars in debt right now because of all of that.
He has debt? Why didn't you tell me all about this earlier? Now I'm stuck with this guy being my husband?
Just get a divorce if you don't want him to be your husband.
Of course I can't do that. There's no way on earth that I could afford to work and raise my child on my own.
Wait a minute. I thought you were just drunk when you said that you were pregnant. Do you actually have a baby?
What?
The first time that you told me you were pregnant was when you were drinking, so naturally, I thought that you were just lying to try and attack me. Besides, if you were really pregnant, I thought even you wouldn't drink and potentially harm the baby. Shame on you for that, by the way.
It was supposed to be a lie at first. I was just trying to make you feel worse and myself better about the situation.
Then why are you saying all of this now?
Because I took a test and found out that I was actually pregnant yesterday.
Wow, what are the odds? So your lies became reality, huh? I mean, might as well celebrate the new life between you two.
No, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. What should I do from now?
Why are you asking me?
You're the only person who I can ask help for. Please, you're on your feet and I really need it.
What do you expect me to do about it? You're on your own, sis.
How could you leave your own sister to rot like this? I guess we could move into the house of my in-laws. I mean, I really wouldn't want to live with those old people, but that's probably our only option right now.
Oh, about that. I don't think you're going to be able to live in that house anymore, because it's going to be put up for sale in a few days.
What? Why?
It was recently announced that Joe was planning to get moved to Canada to manage a new project there. And he was told by his boss that he would most likely stay there for the rest of his career, so I decided that I would move with him. So we had a talk with his parents, and they told us about how they always wanted to live in Canada, and that it would be a dream come true if they could come along and live with us. So they made the decision to sell their house and move in with us.
Wait, but what's gonna happen to Bob then? He lives with his parents right now, doesn't he?
Apparently, Joe suggested that he move with us, but Bob immediately turned down the offer because he doesn't like cold climates.
What kind of reason is that? Our lives are on the line right now.
Oh, and one more thing.
What? What now?
Our parents moved to another house a year ago too, so you won't find anyone even if you go there.
What?
So I actually didn't receive the divorce certificate that you told me you sent me a while ago. I'm pretty sure the current owners are very concerned about it.
What do you mean they aren't living in our house anymore? Where are they then? I need to know. Me and Bob are going to move in with them.
Mom and Dad went out of their way to ask me to keep quiet about their whereabouts to you. So I can't tell you. Sorry.
What do you mean? They can't just ban their own daughter from their house like this.
They were saying that no matter what you guys used to be, someone who steals money is not their daughter anymore. Sorry.
How could they?
It might be tough, but I wish you good luck. Please take good care of your baby. A few days after me and Joe had our wedding, we and his parents took off for Canada. We're currently living in a house close to his workplace, and it's truly a dream come true for all of us. I later heard that within a few days between our wedding day and moving day, my sister tried to somehow reach me, thinking it would somehow help her situation. But Joe and I had already moved out from our old apartment and were staying at a hotel close to the airport, so she wasn't able to find us anywhere. My sister and Bob are currently living in a cheap old apartment, trying to find a way to somehow pay off all of Bob's debt. On top of that, it turned out that Bob had been borrowing some money from shady people, and they moved a few times after receiving threats of unimaginable contents. I heard from a few relatives that the baby was taken away from my sister after birth, and she was sent over to an orphanage. My sister and her husband were told that if they remain unable to provide a proper environment to raise a child, it is a possibility that either me or my parents will end up taking her in. No matter what ends up happening, the baby has committed no crime and doesn't deserve any less of a happy childhood as anyone else. So we'll be sure to make that happen, one way or another. Tori, your daughter is in front of our house right now for some reason. Can you explain why this is? I'm sorry, but 6 in the morning is way too early to have her over. And I don't remember inviting her over to our house anyways. Why did you leave her after all, by herself in front of our house? Tori, you need to answer right now.
Ugh, can you please stop spamming my phone? Do you know what time it is? What do you want?
That's my line. Why do you leave your daughter all by herself at a time like this? She was freezing when I answered the doorbell. What kind of mother does that to her own daughter? Where are you right now? And where is Andrea? I'm getting worried about what you might have done to her, judging by what you've done to Valerina. Please just give me an explanation about the whole situation.
Oh, yeah, about that. I'm leaving Ballerina for you guys to raise. She just isn't worth my effort, you know? I hope you guys have a good time together, though. Sorry about the late notice.
What? What do you mean, raise? I don't know what makes you think this is a time to be joking around, but you need to stop. If you wanted us to let her stay at our house, then you should have at least let us know a day in advance. Even Ballerina's crying because she thinks that you left her for good.
Well, she's right about crying, because that's exactly what I mean. I need you to raise her from now on. As in, like, she isn't coming back to our house anymore, so you need to give her food and shelter and education and stuff. She's not our child, she's yours.
What? You can't just leave your child at our house and claim that we have to raise her from now on. That has to be some typical child abuse.
I mean, you could sue us and bring her back to our house, but as you can tell from the situation right now, I do not care about that child, and she's just gonna have a very miserable life ahead. And if you don't take the role of raising her, she'll probably end up at some orphanage and live an even more miserable life. So, it's up to you.
You're sick. How could you do this to this beautiful child? Shame on you.
Say whatever you want. You can either take responsibility in making her happy, or just sit back and watch her life fall apart.
Why are you doing this to her?
Look, as you know, my husband died last month. And as a single mother, do you really think I can afford to raise 2 kids? While working to make money at the same time? Even with the inheritance that my husband left behind, the best I can do is provide a living for one of them.
That's a problem for you to figure out, and abandoning one of them is definitely not the way.
There's only so much that a part-timer can do, you know? I can only feed 2 mouths, and one of those is mine.
Then why don't you ask your parents to help you out a bit?
Oh my god, I hate my parents. I would rather die than rely on them.
How ungrateful of you to say that.
As I've said before, say whatever you want. Please be my guest. I don't care. So, given all of the information that I mentioned above, I realized that I could only raise one child, and the other child should be raised by someone more facilitated, which turned out to be you. Come on, you're my husband's younger sister and Andrea's aunt. Come to think of it, Andrea's basically your own daughter.
What are you on right now? There's no way that you really think that logic is going to justify all of this.
I'm sure your husband is gonna be excited about having a daughter too.
But this isn't our child.
You said that you would support me in whatever way necessary at the funeral. This is the help that I need right now, so I need you to cooperate.
But this is all so sudden and out of nowhere. Have you at least tried to ask for support by the government or something? There's tons of ways to help raise your children, and scholarships and child support.
It's too much of a hassle to go through all of that paperwork, and I don't have the time to be dealing with all of that right now.
You can't tell me that you can't do even that for your own children. Please get your priorities straight. This isn't the same thing as buying a puppy. We're talking about your own child here.
It's just easier to make you raise her. Therefore, it makes more sense to just do that. Come on, quit being so stubborn and help out a sister.
I would have helped you out with all of the paperwork that you needed if you had just said it was what you needed. It isn't too late. Let's go to the city hall together and see what kind of financial support you're eligible for. How could you abandon Ballerina all by herself like this?
I mean, if it came down to choosing one of the two, I'm pretty sure that anyone would have chosen Andrea.
I would never choose one of my kids over the other.
Everyone says that until they're actually demanded to make the decision. Ballerina's always whining about something and never shuts up. On top of that, she's so slow and dull in the mind. She won't do me any good even if I keep her, so I'm letting her go.
Whether a child does you any good or not, it's a parent's responsibility to love and protect the child. How dare you label your own kids like that?
You can say whatever you want, but when it comes down to making a choice, the answer is always obvious. Andrea never complains, and she's always smiling. She is so unproblematic, so I'm sure she has a far better chance of making it in any type of job. Therefore, I'm investing in her.
What do you mean by investing in her?
I'll raise her for now, and once she's able to get a good job, she can make all of the money, which I'll live off of. It's a great plan, isn't it?
You're really going to isolate your daughter from her sister and make her work like a slave? Are you serious?
Of course I am. They say work smarter, not harder. This is my smartest way out of being poor.
You're crazy.
I'm really not. It's the child's job to take care of their parents, and Andrea has a far better chance in making lots of money. Therefore, it's only natural that I put in more effort for her instead of Valerina. That's why I gave you the stupid one. Good luck raising her.
I've never met anyone as obnoxious as you. You know that? I feel horrible for Andrea for being chosen and forced to stay with you. Our family has our own plans too. We can't just take Valerina in and make it work. Please just come to our house so we can discuss all of this. If you can't come, then I'll drive Valerina over to your house. Which would you prefer?
What about neither? Andrea and I are moving today, so I'll never see you again. Sorry.
What?
We can't afford to keep living in the apartment we used to live in, so I decided to take my daughter and move into a cheaper place. It's a bit far away from here, but my friend owns the place so I can live there for practically free. Isn't it amazing? That friend's gonna introduce me to a new workplace too, so I'm basically well off at my new location. We're resting at a restaurant by the highway right now, so I won't be coming back.
So you're just texting me to stall until you got on the highway?
I mean, you would have brought her back if I left you an option, so... Come on. When you come to think of it, this is the best for all of us. The girl wouldn't have been treated well if she was stuck with us. And you like kids. It's all for the best.
A parent is supposed to give their life to stay by their child, not to sell them away because they don't need them.
Well, I guess I'm not your practical parent then. Look, the house that we used to live in isn't ours anymore, and I have no intention in coming back. So, might as well have fun raising the girl. She's a bit dull, but she's still fun to mess with. You got this.
This has to be illegal in some way. Hey, don't do this to your daughter. Don't do this to us. Just tell me where you are right now. I'll head there, so please just tell me.
Not a chance, honey. I know you're trying to push Valerina back to me. Won't let that happen. She's yours now, so treat her well. I hope y'all have a happy future together. Bye-bye.
I'm not done with you. Hey, Tori, you don't have to do this.
Hey, Bella. Long time no see, right? How have you been?
I'm sorry, who is this?
Oh, don't tell me you've forgotten about me. It's me, Tori. You know, your legal sister, the wife of your older brother. Come on, we both know you remember me. Quit playing dumb.
I actually do not remember you. Or maybe it's just that I'm instinctively dismissing the existence of the horrifying person who abandoned her own daughter after my older brother died 10 years ago. Neither me, my husband, or our beloved daughter Valerina can recall you. Sorry.
See, you do remember. How have you been? I can't believe you actually went out of your way to raise her instead of abandoning her. Props to you, girl.
What do you want? After all of these years, without giving us a single call or text, not even checking on Valerina at all, the audacity you have to be talking to us right now. Don't tell me you've reached out to us after all these years just to check on her. She doesn't need you anymore. She understands well that you don't care, and that we do.
Why would I go out of my way just to do that? I'm not as bored as you might think.
What do you want then?
Can you give Valerina back to me?
What?
She's already 15 and she's not a child anymore. So I'll have her work for my friend's store, starting next year, so I need her back.
Are you hearing yourself right now?
Of course I am. Loud and clear.
Then I'd assume that even a crazy person like you would understand that I would say no, right? You're the one who left her behind at our house in the first place. You have no right to be asking us to let her go back to being with you. She's practically a daughter to us, and we would never make her go through such a thing.
Yeah, I get it. As much as I'd like to say you're right, I really need another worker right now. So please, give her back.
What happened to your other worker?
Oh, Andrea? Well, she ran away from me last night.
Ran away?
Yeah. I started online gambling as a game to pass some time, but I got a bit carried away. And now I'm stuck with a bunch of debt. So I told Andrea to work instead of studying for college. And she ended up running away.
What the hell are you doing? Is it that hard to be a decent parent?
Apparently so. So, can I have Ballerina back?
What kind of adult would let a child enter that environment? No. My answer is no. So please don't contact us ever again.
Okay, let me rephrase it. I'm demanding you to give me my daughter back. You have no right to say no to this request. She's not your child. She is my child, and I have the legal rights as her parent. And Ballerina has the responsibility to help me pay back my debts as my child. Got it?
Actually, Ballerina is our child. Legally.
But I never signed any papers.
As soon as you left her with us, we went through legal procedure to adopt her. So now she's ours, and we have no right to hand her over.
What?
She is our daughter of my husband, so good luck paying back all of your debts alone.
What? You can't just do that without the permission of me? I'm her mother. She is my daughter by blood. This whole thing should be illegal.
It really isn't. There's a way to adopt a child without permission of the parent. I won't go to any specifics since you probably won't understand any of it anyways. But we were legally admitted as eligible for becoming family through court. And you and Ballerina are legally strangers.
You're lying. You can't do that. I'm her real parent. She still has to listen to me.
Actually, she doesn't. We didn't just adopt her. We went through a foster care adoption process, which basically means that there is no legal tie between you and your daughter anymore. This actually requires the agreement of a real parent. But since you were gone for so many years, the court decided that you were incompetent in making a decision upon this case. Therefore, we didn't need your agreement to make the decision to go through. Ballerina is our child, and I will protect her from you with my life. You will never lay a finger on her ever again.
Then who's gonna help me pay back my debts? I can't just do it on my own. How am I supposed to get out of this?
I guess you're going to have to work on your own. You can't just keep relying on your kids and other people, including them, forever. Just help yourself, and you'll be fine.
Then what was the point of giving birth to 2 daughters? There's no point in having kids if they're useless to me when I need them. I won't let this happen. I will not allow this. You know what? You need to resolve the adoption, go through the legal procedures, and make her my daughter again.
No way. I don't like paperwork, and I'm too lazy to go through that whole process, so...
Quit messing around. I'll be on my way to bring Ballerina back. You better be ready.
Where are you headed to?
To your house.
Do you know where our house is?
The place I dropped Ballerina off 10 years ago?
I'm sorry to tell you this, but our family actually moved to another state a few years ago because of my husband's work. So you won't find us at our old house. Sorry.
What? How dare you move without telling me? This is my kid that you're dragging with you. I deserve to know where she is whenever I want.
Again, she's not your daughter.
Why is it always me? Why do bad things always happen to me? Why can't everyone just do what I ask them to do? Help me, please. I can't pay off my debts alone. I'll be stuck working for the rest of my life.
As strangers, we have no responsibility to helping you. Sorry.
Why not?
Why don't you take a deep breath, close your eyes and ask yourself, have I really done nothing to be deserving this right now? I'm sure you'll be able to get yourself an answer. Since I'm done addressing this situation, I'll be going now. I'm sure neither I nor Valerina will ever be seeing you again. So, farewell. Apparently, Tori tried to go and look for Valerina and Bella, but wasn't able to do anything since she couldn't pay for the gas to get anywhere. After that, she tried to work her butt off to pay back her debts, but ended up borrowing even more money because of her online casino addiction. After reaching out to illegal sources or money laundering, she was caught by the members of a gang and was forced to work as a prostitute. After acting upon impulse, Tori ended up getting herself in a living hell situation. Not that she didn't deserve it. FYI, Andrea was taken to her grandparents' house after a few days since she ran away from her mother. And now she lives with her grandparents and goes to high school like any other student. Valerina is also a high school student now, and she's pursuing her dreams as a nurse, going to school every day with her friends. In the end, I'm extremely grateful that everyone ended up at a better place, and I think everyone other than Tori is glad about how things ended up.
Esther, we're getting a divorce.
What?
You went back to your mom and dad's place after getting discharged from the hospital. They have ramps and all that crap, so it's wheelchair friendly, right? There's no sense you coming back to me. I just terminated the contract on the apartment, so it ain't like there's anywhere for you to come back to anyway.
Barry, what the hell? Just slow down a minute. The only reason I came back to live with my folks is because our apartment isn't wheelchair friendly. It was only supposed to be a temporary arrangement. Wasn't the plan to find a new wheelchair friendly place to move in together?
Maybe it was at one point, but you know what? That sounds like a real pain in the ass.
What?
Listen, babe, I'm real grateful for you jumping in to save me like that. I would have been in major trouble if not for you. Who knows, I could have even died. It sucks that you ended up in a wheelchair after falling down the stairs. But you know what, Sugar Dumpling? That's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. Thing is, sweetie pie, all this time alone, I've been doing some thinking. The fact that your mom and dad's place is wheelchair friendly must mean you had some close friend or relative in a wheelchair living there before.
Yes, my grandma. Apparently they had some improvements made on the house to make her life there as smooth and stress-free as possible.
Basically, your family home, where they have experience looking after cripples, is a far more suitable care environment than anything I could possibly provide. Think about it. You know I'm right.
Oh my god.
As soon as I realized that, it dawned on me just how pointless our relationship is. You're dead weight, and divorce is the only answer.
How could you do this? You make it sound like you don't even care about me. I'm in a difficult enough place mentally as it is, Barry. I'm in a wheelchair for crying out loud. Did you really have to do this now of all times? Oh my god, my world is falling apart.
Oh yeah, that too!
Huh?
Ever since you got put in a wheelchair, you've been giving off this miserable, depressing aura. Like you're constantly begging for sympathy. And I gotta tell you, babe, it's been hard on me.
What the? How could you say this?
In any case, I ain't got no interest in continuing married life with a depressing, crippled loser like you. That's why we're getting a divorce. I'll mail the divorce papers to your folks' place. Make sure you get them signed and handed in ASAP. Your folks are gonna have to push you there, obviously. See ya!
3 years later.
Hey, Esther, it's been a while.
Huh? Is that Barry?
Can you believe it's been a whole 3 years? Time sure flies when you're having fun, huh?
What do you want?
I'm messaging you because there's something I wanted to tell you.
What?
I'm getting remarried!
That's great. Congratulations.
Haha, thanks, babe.
Was that all you wanted to tell me?
Huh?
Surely it would be kinda weird if the only reason you wanted to message your ex-wife after 3 years was to tell her you're getting remarried. Surely that wasn't the only thing? To be honest, I think I forgot to block you because I was dead certain you'd never message me again. After all, why would you? I didn't see this one coming. If that was all you wanted to tell me, let's leave it there. I'd appreciate it if you didn't contact me again.
Aha! I knew it! I knew messaging you was the right thing to do.
What? Why?
It's as plain as day. You still have feelings for me, don't you, babe?
Excuse me?
You know how when you tell a kid not to push a button, they always end up pushing it? It was reverse psychology. You thought by telling me not to contact you, I'd get in touch with you again someday, and you'd have another shot at the prize. Me. I can read you like a book.
I'd appreciate it if you stopped playing games and acting so strange. We're done. Barry, and that's final. Now please, stop messaging me. Just leave me alone. You're really annoying.
One more thing. My fiance is the daughter of the CEO of a major company. I take a huge sigh of relief every time I remember how I never would have found myself such a good woman if we didn't divorce. Whew, talking about dodging a bullet. Can you imagine? Me, forced to be permanent live-in carer to some whiny cripple for the rest of my life? I made the right decision.
Wow.
Aha! There it is! The jealousy rears its ugly head. Ha ha ha! I guess no one can blame you. I'm a rugged, fine specimen of a man who can have any woman he wants. And you're in a wheelchair.
Is this the real reason you messaged me?
Huh?
Did you just want to mock and ridicule me for being in a wheelchair? To gloat about how much better you think you are than me? About how much better you think your life is than mine?
Ha ha! I guess it can't be helped. It is the truth after all.
I'd appreciate it if you kept your malicious, spiteful judgments about what you think my life must be like to yourself.
Aw, is someone a little mad? Does baby want a dummy?
I suggest you be careful about what you say.
What? Is that a threat? I'm quaking in my boots here, honest.
It'd be an awful shame if you said the wrong thing and forced me to take revenge on you when you least expected it.
Whatever, you jealous loser. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I'll invite you to the wedding. It could be good for you. Think about it. If you see how blissfully happy me and my new wife are together with your own eyes, it might help you finally let go of your feelings for me.
Feelings for you? I honestly could not care less about you.
Great, that settles it then. I'll send the invite out to your folks' place.
I don't want one, and I'm not going. Truthfully, I'd rather stick pins in my eyes.
I know how stubborn you are, so I know you'll probably reply not attending, despite wanting to come more than anything. But I'm preparing some space for your wheelchair, so you better show up.
I said I'm not going. The day of the wedding.
Hey, Esther! I knew it! You were so adamant you weren't gonna come, but I knew it was all an act. You actually came, didn't you? Priceless! I saw a woman in a wheelchair making her way towards the wedding hall from the waiting room window. I knew it! Your feelings for me are unshakable, and you came in spite of your protest. You can't run from love, babe! Or roll in your case. Problem is, I filled the space I had ready for you, cause you sent the invite back saying you weren't attending. They don't even make movies this entertaining. Sorry, sweet cheeks, but I could hardly let you in without a confirmed invite. My hands were tied. I knew I did the right thing by warning my buddy on reception. I said, hey, Timmy, if some bimbo in a wheelchair shows up, you make sure you turn her away immediately. You got that, Mal? Why? Because she's my ex-wife. He messaged me just now saying he sent you packing the moment you showed up. He said the look in your face was priceless. Enjoy the journey home. I hope you brought someone to push you.
Barry, I'm sorry, but I'm completely lost. What are you talking about?
Cripple, go home! Go home, go home, go home! Cripple, go home! Go home, go home, go home! G-O-H-O-M-E!
But I never came in the first place.
Huh?
As you well know, I sent the invite back with the not attending box very clearly ticked. As I told you before, I had no intention of going, and I didn't. So what the hell are you talking about?
Huh? But in that case, who was the one I saw from the waiting room window?
Obviously, it wasn't me.
Wait, what? Seriously?
The next day.
How in the heck of the baby Lord Jesus' name was I supposed to know, you stinky bimbo?
Wow, where did that come from all of a sudden?
The woman in the wheelchair I kicked out of the wedding after mistaking her for you yesterday was actually my wife's childhood friend. My wife flipped out at me big time for giving her the boot. Apparently they were real close, like sisters. I've never seen her this bad. She's threatening to divorce me, you goddamn evil witch! This is all your fault for being in that godforsaken wheelchair! How dare you!
This is my fault? Amazing! You literally have zero ability to self-reflect, do you? So this must mean your wife's childhood friend was one of the invites she sent out. Which also means the necessary arrangements to accommodate a guest in a wheelchair would have been taken by the organizers of the ceremony. Surely there's no way the groom wouldn't have been made aware of something like this at his own wedding. Or maybe you were, and you just weren't listening. Which was it? Or maybe you were listening, but you forgot?
Actually,
If by any chance were you leaving all of the wedding arrangements to your wife, you were taking on your fair share of the responsibility, weren't you, Barry? Let's face it, you always were the kind of guy to come up with nonsensical excuses every time you deemed something to be a pain in the ass. Even if the thing you were escaping from was very clearly something you should have been taking responsibility for. That's always the kind of guy you were, wasn't it, Barry?
the heck are you talking about? You make me sick, woman. Look at you. So what? So I made one teensy-weensy, teeny-weeny little mistake. I'm human, aren't I? Get off your high horse, you self-righteous witch. This just proves you still have feelings for me. It gets more obvious with each message.
Keep dreaming.
Maybe try learning to walk again, cripple. Who knows? You might even be able to get remarried like me.
Huh? Oh, right. I see. You don't know anything about my situation these days, do you?
What else is there to know? You're a friendless, single, shut-in hermit cripple who lives with her elderly parents and relies on them 24/7 to care for her. I don't need to ask to know that.
I gave the rehab everything I had after the divorce and made huge improvements. Doctors tell me I'm well and truly on the road to recovery.
Huh?
They also tell me that if I carry on working hard, there's a good chance I'll be able to walk normally again one day, as if the accident never happened.
Wait, what? Seriously?
This isn't exactly new though, is it? They've been saying this since the beginning.
What? They have?
Looks like my suspicions were right. You divorced me without even properly listening to what the doctors had to say, didn't you?
I did? Oh man.
Oh, by the way, your new wife asked me to pass on this message.
Huh?
You're despicable. I want a divorce, now.
Wait, what? What? What the heck? How is she speaking to you?
She just showed up at my house because she wanted to ask me some questions.
Uh-oh.
She was pretty curious about the background behind her divorce, and of course, I, being super friendly and sociable, told her everything. She was absolutely furious about how you treated her childhood friend yesterday. She said she suddenly felt like she no longer knew you. She's on her way to you with the divorce papers now. Apparently, she never wants to see you again after you sign them. A few days later.
Sup, honey cheeks? I kept you waiting a long time, huh? You can finally remarry me now!
Excuse me?
Ah, don't worry. It won't count as cheating or infidelity or anything like that. I'm newly divorced now, so there's nothing stopping us. I'm single and ready to mingle.
There's nothing stopping us from doing what exactly?
I might be a 2-time divorcee, but I'm pretty sure that technically goes back down to 1 with me and you getting remarried. What's more, now that I know you're not gonna be a wheelchair anymore, it'll be just like before. You'll be a normal person again. However, there is just one small condition. My bitch ex-wife is demanding ungodly amounts of compensation and saying I owe her all the money she put into planning the wedding. The total comes to just shy of $40K. As long as you pay off that for me, you can have me back. Your family are filthy rich, so it shouldn't be a problem, right? Just give old Pops a call and this'll be settled in a jiffy. I'll be heading over to your folks' place tomorrow, so make sure you have the marriage registration stuff dealt with before I arrive, okay, sweet cheeks?
Would you mind slowing down for a sec? There's something you should know.
What is it?
I already got remarried.
Huh?
I fell in love with the physio who oversaw my rehab at the hospital. He's such an amazing man. He was there for me when I was at my lowest, when my head was all over the place after being so cruelly and heartlessly tossed aside, like some piece of trash when you realized I was in a wheelchair.
You married the physio? Oh, this is the first I've heard of it.
Is there a reason I need to give detailed reports on my private life to my ex-husband?
But I gave you reports on my private life.
I don't remember there being any kind of rule saying I have to do that.
Wait, does this mean you won't marry me? It's gonna be a lot harder trying to find a new wife as a 2-time divorcee, you know. Have you even thought about how this is gonna affect me?
I'm praying that one day you'll have an epiphany and realize that this was entirely your fault. But something tells me I'll be praying for a long time.
What?
It'd be a miracle if you found an oddball crazy enough to marry a cruel, selfish, heartless, mean-spirited, good-for-nothing loser like you.
What? That's just uncalled for!
Never contact me again. Goodbye. Later on, I found out the real reason my ex-husband went out of his way to tell me he was getting remarried was that, apparently, at the time of the divorce, his friends and family found out he was ending things because the thought of caring for his then-crippled wife was too much for a nuisance. Unable to cope with his newfound reputation as a total scumbag, he hatched a plan to heal his damaged reputation. The idea was to goad me into causing a scene at his wedding by provoking me into a jealous rage so he could paint me as some kind of deranged psycho whom he had no choice but to divorce. I really am tired of him. Talk about dodging a bullet. Amazingly, his parents were nothing like him, and me and them had always gotten along, so a few days later, I decided to tell them everything. They immediately hung their heads in shame and apologized profusely. His mom said, as if the shenanigans at the wedding weren't bad enough, "My goodness, Esther, we're so sorry." They vowed to keep a watchful eye on him to ensure he could never hurt anyone again. Last I heard, he was being forced to work to exhaustion to pay off his debts by his ex-military dad.